Hello and welcome. Today, I want to talk to you about a force that silently holds so many people back, not just from success, but from even trying the fear of failure. It's something we've all felt. It's that voice in your head that whispers, "What if I'm not good enough?" It's that sinking feeling in your chest when you're about to take a risk. And it's the invisible barrier that stops dreams before they ever see the light of day. But let me tell you something powerful. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of success. Let me ask you this. Have you ever watched a child learn to walk? They stumble, they fall, they cry, but they also get up again and again until walking becomes second nature. They don't sit there analyzing what went wrong. They don't give up because they fell 10 times in a row. Why? Because they haven't learned to fear failure yet. But somewhere along the way, as we grow older, we start to associate failure with shame. We begin to fear what others will think. We hesitate, we procrastinate, we hold back, not because we lack the ability, but because we're afraid of what might happen if we try and don't succeed. Here's the truth. Failure is not something to be feared. It's something to be embraced. Every successful person you've ever admired, whether it's an inventor, an athlete, an entrepreneur, or an artist, has failed, probably more times than they can count. Thomas Edison tried thousands of times before finally inventing a practical light bulb. When asked about his failures, he famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers before someone finally said yes to Harry Potter. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't fit for television. What do all these people have in common? They were not fearless, but they didn't let fear stop them. They understood something vital. Failure is not the end. It's a step on the way. Let's talk about what really happens when we fear failure. Fear creates paralysis. It convinces us to play small. We settle for less than we're capable of because it feels safer. But is it really safe? What is the cost of never trying? Think about this. The pain of failure lasts for a moment, but the pain of regret? That can last a lifetime. Would you rather fall short trying to build your dream or spend your days wondering what could have been? Let me share something personal with you. There was a time in my life when I was afraid to take a leap, a career move that I knew in my heart was right. But the fear of failing, of not being enough, kept me stuck. I told myself all the reasons why it wouldn't work, all the things that could go wrong. And for a while, that fear won. But one day I realized something. I was already failing myself by not trying. That day, I made a choice to lean into the fear instead of away from it. And guess what? I didn't succeed immediately. In fact, I stumbled, I faced rejection, and yes, I failed. But with each failure came a lesson, and with each lesson, I grew stronger. Eventually, the very thing I feared became the foundation for something greater than I had imagined. So how do we overcome this fear of failure? First, we have to redefine failure. Failure is not a sign that you're not good enough. It's proof that you're brave enough to try. Failure is data. It's feedback. It tells you what doesn't work so you can discover what does. Second, we need to detach our identity from our outcomes. You are not your mistakes. You are not your setbacks. You are not your failures. You are the person who gets up again. You are the person who learns, who adapts, who keeps going. Third, embrace a growth mindset. Carol Dweck, a Stanford psychologist, coined this term. A growth mindset means believing that your abilities can improve with effort, that failure is not a verdict but an opportunity. It means looking at challenges and thinking, I may not get this now, but I will with time. Fourth, take action despite fear. You will never be completely fearless. But courage is not the absence of fear. It's moving forward in spite of it. If you wait to feel ready, you'll never start. Start scared. Start unsure. Start with doubt. But start. And finally, surround yourself with people who support your growth, not your comfort zone. People who challenge you, who push you, who remind you that you're capable of more. You don't need cheerleaders. You need truth tellers and dream believers. Let me leave you with this. Imagine a life where you weren't afraid to fail, where you chased what you really wanted, where you dared greatly. What would that life look like? Because that life is possible. It begins the moment you stop running from failure and start learning from it. The moment you understand that failing does not make you a failure. It makes you human. It makes you courageous. It makes you one step closer to your goal. So I challenge you today, go out and fail. Fail gloriously. Fail forward. Let every misstep be a step toward mastery. Let every stumble be a sign of progress. Stop letting fear be the editor of your story. Instead, pick up the pen. Write boldly. Lie bravely. Because at the end of your life, it won't be the failures you regret. It will be the chances you didn't take. So take a leap. And if you fall, get up. That's not the end of your story. It's just the beginning. Thanks for watching this clip, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.